Hello and welcome to the channel. This is your asset protector. Talk to somebody that it might be going through something because you think that you made a mistake, you did something wrong. Maybe you went to jail or prison, or you're in trouble now and you have to go before the courts. It's going to be all right. See, in this life, we are just sojourners passing through this land. And we are not here to stay, and we are here to pick up experiences. In order to do that, then you have to do certain things. Some things you probably wouldn't do or thought you would have done. You know, when you were younger, you said, I'll never do that, right? And now you're older and you look back and you did that very thing that you said you wouldn't do or you was not going to do. So your experiences that you had should not be a prison to put yourself in. And you're really only a prisoner in between your own ears. Other people really don't care about you. They're just looking for something to talk about. They're just looking for something to do. They're just looking for the next rumor or whatever to talk about. And then once that's going on, they'll leave you alone and go talk about the next person. Whatever the big fat subject is right now, that's what everyone are discussing. Because people, they like to follow the crowd. We like to do what everyone else is doing. What is the end thing? What is the crowd doing? We want to be people pleasers and crowd pleasers. So at work, you hang out with people that you don't like, or you allow people to hang out with you that you don't like. And in the end, you don't like yourself because of that. When you leave this world, you're going to be the only one that's in your casket. You're going to be the only one that's in your urn, or whichever choice you decide. Or if you don't have your business in order, then someone will decide that for you. Like if you don't have life insurance, you don't have a will and a trust, then people get to decide for you. So I was reading this book. I read it before actually, and I just happened to just look on the book on the shelf behind me to try to find something to read to pass time, and I put me a little marker here. In fact, I put 2 markers. And this book is called Get Out of Your Own Way by Dave Hollis. And here in this chapter 5, it's I did something wrong, so I am something wrong. As you can read it for yourself. Because sometimes, we get it mixed up. See, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The baby is still good. The baby was just dirty. The water is dirty. And now you have bathed the child. Here on page 49 in chapter 5, Dave says that we are the result of the life we've lived. But we only become prisoners of our mistakes if we allow it. You get to rewrite the story of how your flaws have made you stronger today. You get to decide how you'll use the narrative of what's happened to you to create what happens to you next. In other words, your past should give some dictation or indication of a better future. When you go through things, it's not designed to destroy you, but those things that you go through, the trouble. You talk too much in class like I did, so you got called up to the front of the room, had to sit in the front desk, and you weren't near your friend. I get it. And then you kept on being silly, so the teacher wrote your name on the board, and then the teacher perhaps maybe put a sad face or an X or something beside the face, beside your name. And when you collected so many of those, usually 3, in 3 strikes, you are out. But in the game of life, 3 strikes is not necessarily an out. You've had to go through some things. You've had to conquer some things. You fight demons within. We all have our own demons. While the person or people who are talking about you and talking down on you and putting you down for your demons have just been put on display. In other words, you know what they know what your demons are, but you don't know what their demons are. And we are all fighting some type of demon, whether it's a demon of oppression, if it's a demon of depression, if it's a demon of eating too much or eating too little, if it's a demon of our sexuality, if it's a demon of cheating on our marriage or lovers, if it's talking down and being mean and ugly towards our children and our family. Regardless, we all have demons that we are dealing with, okay? And sometimes we accept that demon, we'll like that demon and say, this demon makes me feel good. So I love this demon, come on in. But then eventually the demon grows and grows and grows. And then the demon starts bursting out of the seam of your clothes because your clothes are too small. And now in your mind, you're still small, but you're making these humongous demonic decisions. What I'm saying is you get the opportunity to write your own narrative in your life. And if you made a mistake, it's okay, right? When I was in high school, I wanted to graduate with honors, but I was number 11 in my class, right? And I think that was political, but I digress. When I went to college, I graduated cum laude. Now, I know based on my, the way I worked out my GPA, that it added up to put me in a magnum. But I was going for summa cum laude. Now, you know that if you aim for the moon and you miss, you still be amongst the stars. Well, I still had an honor cord on. Right? And both times I had a cap and gown in high school and in college, and I got the opportunity to make my parents feel proud of me, right? That's mostly what it's like when you're young and you're trying to please your parents, right? And so, and I did that. But I made some other mistakes along the way as well. And my parents didn't throw me out just because of a mistake that I made, because they saw the good that's inside of me. And perhaps you're maybe like me where you don't have your parents anymore. I can't call on my parents. I can't say, Mama, will you pray for me? Mama, what do I do next? Because my mama and daddy instilled in me what it is to be a man, what it is to be a God-loving individual, and to do right and good in the community and for other people. And so that's the type of life that I live. And I often like to mention a song, May the Work I've Done Speak for Me. And it's a song they sing in the church today. May the work I've done speak for me, right? Sometimes the work I've done, it seems so small. Sometimes it seems like nothing at all, but may the work I've done speak for me. And when I'm resting in my grave, there is nothing that can be said. So may the work I've done speak for me. And so I try to do good, because whenever I do pass away, I don't want someone standing up over my remains lying, and, oh, he was a good person. Oh, he was there. Oh, he'll take the shirt off his back. Now, anybody knows me, no, I'm not going to take my shirt off my back and give it to you. Why in the world? Let me just be me for a minute. Why in the hell would I take my shirt off and I'm shirtless so you can have on a shirt? That's foolish. That's not me. Don't stand over me and say that, because that's some bull mess, as my niece would say. And I would say it a little bit different, but I want to keep it PG here. Another thing that Dave talked about, he says, I painted a picture of the life I wanted to have, and that picture left breadcrumbs for me to follow. The specifics of that picture helped me ask what action I need to take to make them come true. That's that quote. Now, I want to read this sentence. Trust me, I'm not all that special, but I did take work and focus. I did take work and focus, right? If you're willing to put in the work, if you're able to get detail for what the chest out swagger machine looks like, and maybe most importantly, if you're able to create enough leverage, you can make your visualization come true. Now, this swagger machine with the chest out is just talking about a guy that's been working out, has a nice, attractive, sexy body at the beach with his shirt on, right? If you're a young lady, you know what I'm talking about because you've seen it. If you're a young man, then you want to be the guy, right? To look that way. So all I'm saying is that regardless to whatever it is that you've done in your life, it wasn't a death sentence. It was just there to help you and guide you towards the person you are. And you may not like the person you are today, but you are always becoming, you're always evolving, you're always growing, and you're getting better and better. As Cardi B said, you're getting betterer and better. And let me tell you something, if nobody told you this today, you are all that. When God made you, he broke the mold. When God made you, he only made one of you. And there are people that you may want to rendition yourself or copycat yourself after, right? But there's only one you, and nobody can't do you better than you can. You don't have to get up and rehearse to be you. You don't have to read no books to be you. You don't have to ask nobody's opinion. You are you, spot on. And the reason why is because you were born to be different, and you were born to make a contribution. You are born to make a difference. And no matter, you may be standing on the rooftop right now and ready to jump. You might be standing on a bridge. And I hope that this message gets to you before you get there. And when you do get to that bridge, you might have had an intention of jumping off and ending it all. But hopefully this video will help you walk to the top of that bridge in a safe place and look down over the land and see the beauty that God has implanted you in. You're all that and a bag of chips. You are important and you do make a difference. Life is hard. Life is hard. I get it. I get it. I get it. And I know sometimes you want to end it because you see what happened in your past and you're pissed off about what happened in your past. But guess what? Yesterday is history, meaning that you can talk about yesterday. You can't go back and revisit yesterday. Tomorrow is mystery. You don't know all of the good things that God has in store for you and for your life tomorrow. If you could just roll back the curtains and see what God has in store for you and how you are right at the brink of that tipping point where you're not tipping over into disparity, where you're not tipping over into damnation or being doomed, but you are tipping over into success. This is where your setback sets you up for a comeback. And the things that you are dealing with in life, you are supposed to be dealing with those things. And you are strong enough to deal with those things. Doesn't matter if it's a loss of a child, if it's a loss of a parent, if it's loss of a relationship, you got fired from your job. I done been fired from several jobs, right? I done had all kinds of things that I've had to deal with. But that doesn't dictate who I am. That's what they said I was, right? And maybe you've been evicted from your home. Maybe you've been foreclosed from your home. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you lost a car, or you lost a limb, or you lost sight in your eye. You're still here, and you still have a purpose. And understand that you still have a purpose. I don't care what it is that you've been through. Everything that you've been through, you already been through it. And what that did was made you strong, because there's something down the road that's waiting for you, right? If I look out the window today, it's nice in California, it's sunny. It's even breezy. No rain in the forecast nowhere. But that just reminds me that in a matter of time, it's going to be a mudslide. It's going to be a heavy rain. It's going to be a fire. It's going to be something, the ground shaking, the earthquake, right? It's going to be something, right? It's going to be traffic jam on the 5 or the 110. It's okay. It's okay. Everything is okay. As they say in Jamaica, it's okay, man. Everything is okay. And everything is not just so pressing that it's the end of the world. It's not. There have been rougher times than this, right? And you have not come this far just to come this far. This is just the beginning, right? So we're gonna coalesce out of today into tomorrow with purpose. We're gonna live on purpose. We're gonna learn to turn our pain into purpose, and we're gonna learn to turn our purpose into passion. And when you put all that together, there's no telling what you can do in this life, okay? You're special. And you didn't just land on this video by mistake. You landed here because you were supposed to. And I didn't just make this video because I didn't have anything better to do with my time. I made this video because God put it in my heart before I was even born, right? And you speak in Jeremiah, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. And I set you aside, and I made you a great prophet to the nations. And you're a prophet to the nation, meaning that you can instill greatness in somebody, and you do have a purpose. And if nobody has told you this today, I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I really do. I just need you to love you more than I do. Be blessed. Continue to grow. Continue to rise up. Always remember that life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Take care and be blessed. Catch you on the next one. Bye for now.